Dixie and Bill.
Bill's son is in town. I texted him.
Please all stand and sing with me. Gonna set it free, let things be. Let the street of life carry me. Cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed to be. Gonna set it free, let things be. Let the street of life carry me. Cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed to be. Life unfolds with grace and ease, endless possibilities. They're everywhere, they've always been, when I choose to let them in. Gonna set it free, let things be. Let the street of life carry me. Cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed to be. Gonna set it free, let things be. Let the street of life carry me. Cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed to be. I've outgrown those smaller dreams, the way they used to limit me. I make the space, invite love in. Magic fills my life again. There's something bigger calling me to follow where my passion leads. I trust the flow, don't need to know. I dance into the great unknown. Gonna set it free, let things be. Let the street of life carry me. Cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed to be. Gonna set it free, let things be. Let the street of life carry me. Cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed to be.
Good morning and welcome to Unity of Columbia. And so the last few weeks I've been on vacation. I feel great today, but it's so nice to be back here with all of you. Let's welcome in our online people. Thanks for joining us today. Well, Julianne of Norwich said, all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. And she wasn't just being optimistic. She was speaking these words during a time of plague and uncertainty. But she knew that when we rejoice in the midst of a challenge, we become overcomers. So appearances are not always the final word. We can raise ourselves up by affirming the words, all shall be well. So let's please declare that together. Let's say, all shall be well. And let's stand and greet each other.
I am dreaming, you can't stop me. People pulling me whole directions, good intentions, manifesting with my blessing. My new direction certain through with guessing. This is the way it's gonna be. Life is a flower blooming for me. My dandelion dreams. My dandelion dreams. My dandelion dreams. My dandelion dreams. Waves are crashing. Winds are blowing. May not know where I'm going, but I'm going. This is the way it's gonna be. Life is a flower blooming for me. My dandelion dreams. My dandelion dreams. My dandelion dreams. My dandelion dreams. Sweet as sunshine, flowing down like rain. Possibilities, you know my name. After the blossom, I'm tossing the seeds into the wind. I'm setting them free. After the blossom, I'm tossing the seeds into the wind. I'm setting them free. My dandelion dreams. My dandelion dreams. My dandelion dreams. My dandelion dreams.
I guess that means I'm up. Good morning, my name's Rick Cantrell, and it's my honor to be your facilitator this morning. We're grateful for all who contribute to our service today. Welcome everyone to Unity of Columbia. Especially want to welcome those joining us online and to those of you here in the sanctuary. We thank you. And we remind you, if you would please make sure your cell phones are off, that would be great. I want to welcome anyone who might be visiting us for the first time. If you are first-time visitors, the ushers have a welcome packet, and we also have some out in the foyer just outside the doors there. Please affirm these words with me. Together, centered in spirit, we trust in the potential of Unity of Columbia to express abundance in perfect divine order. Our community makes decisions for the highest good, and we're now open to the flow of new opportunities and claim prosperity now. Please join me in affirming our vision, mission, and our core values. Our vision is we celebrate a spiritually awakened world. And our mission is we inspire the awakening and practice of divine love in every heart. In addition, we celebrate our core values, knowing that we've come here to be spirit-centered and to express the values of love, peace, and connection. There will be a celebration of life and a service for Patrick Wesselman will be held at Unity this Friday, April 3rd at 11 a.m. and will be followed by a light reception at noon. And we do need a few people to help set up the tables in the Friendship Hall. If you can help, it would be really appreciated. There's an Easter egg hunt next Sunday, April 5th. It'll begin at 11 a.m. in the Solar Gallery. It will be loads of fun, so bring along the children in your life. Please note there will be no youth class Easter Sunday, and children should attend the 11 a.m. service with their families. There will be a cleanup here on the Unity grounds on Saturday, April 11th from 10 to noon. We're going to be focusing on cleaning up the labyrinth area, the mulching beds, going to be pulling weeds, pruning, raking leaves, and adding some soil here and there. You can sign up in the foyer and bring gloves, bags, and tools. And if you have any questions, talk to Steph Brooks or Cheryl Bassford, please. In your bulletin, you'll notice that there's Dr. Elizabeth Page is going to be doing some classes. They're going to start Tuesday, April 14th, and Wednesday, April 15th. And we want to thank Bev especially for bringing the palms here this morning. Our daily word reading this morning is, on Palm Sunday, I honor the divine presence within. On Palm Sunday, Jesus made his triumphant entry into Jerusalem riding a donkey colt, which spiritually symbolizes dominion of the Spirit over human nature. Today, I find inspiration in that timeless Bible story. Going forward, I commit myself to mastering my impulses and judgments and continually surrendering my imperfections to the Christ within. My commitment in regularly going to the upper chamber of my consciousness smooths the rough edges of my mind and opens my heart to perfect love and purity. By following Jesus' example, I proceed with courage and confidence along the path of fulfillment and transcendence. And from the Gospel of John, I have come as light into the world, so that everyone who believes in me should not remain in the darkness. So let's say that together. On Palm Sunday, I honor the divine presence within. And now say it silently to yourself. The prayer box is a symbol of blessings today. In prayer, we expand our awareness, knowing that we are expressions of God. We open our minds to receive an abundance of all that is necessary to fulfill our soul's purpose. We now hold others in prayer. If you filled out a prayer slip, you can come up and put it in the prayer box. Or I invite you to speak your loved one's name aloud so that we can collectively hold space. For all the names on our hearts, know that what you have asked for has already been answered. And our Unity chaplains will be available to pray with you after this morning's service. Thank you.
Free to be the voice of love, free to make the choice of love. I am peace, I am peace, I am peace. I am peace. Free to be the voice of peace. Free to make the choice of peace. I am home. I am home. I am home. I am home. Oh, 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 I am love. I am love. I am.
Slow down your breathing as you settle into your chair and relax your body. We breathe in deep and we breathe out long and slow, taking time to let go of thoughts, cares, or concerns. Some of our cares may want to stay with us, and that's all right as we allow our feelings to come with calmness. Into the forefront, peace, opening to whatever is there, honoring our heart and our inner self. Knowing we are in a safe and loving space, we hold ourselves in a kind of sweet reverence, respecting all that we feel, no part left out. Sometimes we feel the loss of someone we love, or of a friend who moved away, a place we used to go that changed, or the loss of butterflies, frogs, or certain birds that are no longer plentiful. All of these are valid feelings, and we need not shy away from letting our hearts feel grief or loss, as not all in life is joy. We develop more peace where we allow our heart to feel what it feels and accept, honor, and respect those feelings. Some say when the heart feels broken, don't hide it, for that feeling allows us to expand our abilities to feel mercy and compassion for ourselves and for others. Our heart can break open wide and let in the hearts of others. Let the losses teach us and open us to a wider swath of generosity, a larger capacity to give and receive, kindness, forgiveness, and love. So let our hearts be wide and deep in the silence, opening up into our visioning in the quiet meditation, and cultivating a new garden of compassion and serenity as we slip gently into the silence. Pausing before we open our eyes, we slowly breathe and refresh as we awaken from our silence, cherishing and holding on to that wonderful feeling of our big, wide open hearts.
Well, good morning, everyone, again. My name is Carol Schultz, and I'm one of the Unity Prayer Chaplains. And today, we're going to give you some of our reflections on what Palm Sunday can mean to us in our spiritual growth and development. So first, I'd like to ask Ann McGinnity to come and share her ideas.
Good morning. I want to start with a quote from T.S. Eliot, who I'm sure, if he was alive today, would be a member of our congregation. What we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from. Any of us that have been in transitions know this. Palm Sunday, this is a time of endings and beginnings. When aware of what builds to the ending, we become aware also of each step, each thought, each prayer that brings us into the remembrance of gain into loss, slight glimmers of truth into a movement, ongoing seeking of a leader to bring us to the divine sense we crave. Each season of Lent, the arc of surrender of our human needs to our divine purpose, this is what leads from beginnings to endings, as well as to find a path step by step, trod carefully back to where we start, and then again through the transition to where we end, to where we begin. The honor of the palms, symbolizing victory, are held by a procession of supporters who themselves are at an intensity of a new beginning. Each of us has our own individual new beginning. The mass consciousness leads to one who bears all things as a king does, as a leader does, as a savior does. Again, our endings and our beginnings, what are we looking for? How are we to know all things? How are we to find the divine source? How are we to step into this new phase? How do we live in the void between the end and the beginning? What is the void? Each one of us is on a road. This is a road of our own passion, our own dual identity of old and new, loss and renewal, clarity and confusion, self-recognition, and mass processions. Our joy-filled day is leading us today into a week of grave importance, truly a holy week. This journey is one of renewal, reflection, encouragement, and many, many mysteries. Palm Sunday references royalty, dignity, suffering, sacrifices, all in the same moment. Again, our endings and our beginnings meet in our hearts, our minds, our souls, and eventually in our individual human life as we find our divine purpose. Where is my heart? What is my passion? How do I live my truth? How am I serving my passion, my truth, my heart? We now know and allow ourselves to fully become aware of our unity principles, for truly they are divining the guidance that we need to be in our ending, our void, our beginning. We exemplify this on Palm Sunday and throughout this week.
Good morning. My name is Kathy Morris. I'm very happy to be part of this wonderful day. What does Palm Sunday mean to me? When approached with that question, I pondered many ways in which I could approach it. I could recall fun ceremonies as a child with palm branches and costumes. I could focus on this momentous event itself, recorded in all four Gospels, each referencing passages from the Old Testament which demonstrate fulfillment of prophecy. Or I could focus on the meanings of humility and peace, which is the metaphysical concept of the donkey colt which Jesus rode into Jerusalem. What I decided to focus on is a deeper understanding of why Jesus was so beloved and so well received. When people heard he was coming to Jerusalem for the Passover, they sent runners ahead to find out the route, and then they lined that route with palm branches, their cloaks, and they were waving and shouting, "Hosanna." Other phrases include, "Blessings to him who comes in the name of the Lord," "Blessings on the coming of the kingdom of our father David," and "Hosanna in the highest heaven." The Roman Empire was vast at this time, including all of what is now the Middle East. Israel was governed by the Romans from afar. Israel had traditionally been given the right to worship as they wished, so long as they paid their taxes and acknowledged Romans' right to rule. The leaders of Israel, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the Pharisees were largely the legal division and the Sadducees the priestly division of Judaism. They had a very difficult job of mediating between the people and the Roman rulers, keeping their jobs and staying alive. Herod the Great was now dead. Herod Antipas was the governor of Judea, of Galilee, and Pontius Pilate was the governor of Judea. Pontius Pilate knew the only source of riches in this area was the temple treasury. And he plotted to gain access to the funds in the temple treasury in multiple times. And he is also known for the temple massacre, in which many Jewish protesters were killed. Herod Antipas was building the city of Sepphoris in Galilee. Israeli workers were cheap labor and were conscripted for the dangerous and heavy work of stone masonry for the construction of the city. It is possible that Joseph, Jesus' father, was a worker here and died at a relatively young age. Life for many Israelis involved hard labor, poverty, injury, and illness. At the time that Joseph disappears from the scriptures, Mary had 7 children, Jesus, 4 brothers, and 2 sisters. At some point in his life, Jesus became a rabbi. It is possible that a rabbi at a local synagogue took Jesus under his wing, recognizing a very bright young man who was interested in the Torah, but living in a poverty-stricken home. A synagogue from the time of Jesus has been found in the city of Magdala, the home of Mary Magdalene, so it is known that there were synagogues in Galilee at the time of Jesus. In his early adulthood, Jesus served as a traveling rabbi, learning all about the area and seeing the poverty and illness and malaise all around him. Jesus' ministry follows that of John the Baptist, his cousin, who was beheaded by Herod Antipas. John the Baptist had a very confrontational style of talking and shouting, warning the Sadducees and soldiers in Judea of the need for repentance and return to the 3 pillars of Judaism: social justice, compassion for others, and an abiding faith in God. He welcomed all who would repent, and he utilized the water of the Jordan River for baptizing, which was accessible to everyone. Jesus knew that this combative style of John the Baptist would never work in Galilee, where the people were so broken down. They had lost lands and homes, they had hard labor, and the sick and the lame were ostracized, widespread poor health. He demonstrated love and compassion and a personal approach with everyone. In preparation, Jesus took 40 days and 40 nights in the desert by himself to pray and contemplate how he would take his ministry to reflect on the work as a village rabbi and reflect on what he had learned from John the Baptist. This time is recorded as the temptation by the devil in the Gospel of Matthew. This time of preparation is a good example for all of us as we face what is important in our lives. Jesus' message was that social and religious change does not have to be political. It does not have to start from the top down, as the Pharisees and Sadducees insisted. These changes could arise from below. After Jesus declares his ministry as recorded in Mark and Luke, he read from Isaiah chapter 61, verses 1 and 2. The Spirit of the Lord has been given to me, for Yahweh has anointed me. He has sent me to bring the good news to the poor, to bind up the hearts that are broken, to proclaim liberty to the captives and freedom to those in prison. He begins his ministry in Bethsaida, out of the reach of Herod Antipas, who was still looking for followers of John the Baptist. Jesus begins to spread his message of love and acceptance and how to make things better by healing Peter's mother-in-law, his very first miracle. What did Jesus do differently? He strived to make it better. He taught in parables, easily understandable and memorable. He preached the message of the Sermon on the Mount, mixing concepts to make people think. Blessed are the poor, blessed are the meek, blessed are those who hunger and thirst. He let everyone know they were important and blessed. He was fearless in his efforts to teach people how to treat each other differently, with love and compassion, emphasizing faith in God and to promote social justice. In Matthew 22:37, Jesus says, "Love your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. This is the first great commandment. The second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself." When treating people, Jesus first forgave sins. People were very aware and terrified of the text in Exodus that says, "For I, your God, am a jealous God, visiting iniquity of the fathers and the third and the fourth generation." This was utilized by the Pharisees and Sadducees in social control. In John 9, Jesus healed a man who had been blind from birth. The disciples asked him, who had sinned, his father or his mother? And Jesus replied that neither had sinned. This forgiveness of sins and affirmation of faith first before healing was so very important in allowing people to not be afraid and to allow themselves to heal. In promoting social justice, Jesus challenged the system in so many ways. As recorded in Matthew 23 and 24, Jesus is quoted as saying, "Woe upon you, Pharisees and other religious leaders, you tithe down to the last mint leaf, but ignore the most important things, justice, mercy, and faith." Jesus performed miracles on the Sabbath, stating, as recorded in Mark, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Jesus famously challenged the commercialization of worship when he overturned the tables in the temple. And Jesus emphasized sharing meals and relationship with people of all walks of life, including tax collectors and those who are considered to be sinners and those considered to be unclean. Jesus just didn't talk the talk, he walked the walk. He understood that people's lives would be so much better if the three tenets of Judaism were improved: social justice, compassion, and abiding faith in God. Jesus uplifted people even in the dire circumstances of very difficult politics and harsh living conditions. So Palm Sunday, to me, brings to mind hope regardless of circumstance, love among each other, and faith in God.
Thank you, Kathy. Well, as our daily word said, on Palm Sunday, Jesus made his triumphant entry into Jerusalem riding a donkey colt, spiritually symbolizing dominion of the Spirit over the human nature. And I think it was last year that the children's moment made me first aware of this divine donkey in the story. And donkeys have been very important in biblical stories, but today I'm going to concentrate on this donkey. The donkey reflects gentleness, humility, and the surrender of the personal will to the divine will. So Palm Sunday gives us a chance to meditate on God's will and our own personal will. Hearing those words, God's will, sometimes conjures up many not so happy memories, carries emotional baggage for many. And to me, those words always bring up images of hopelessness, helplessness, suffering, pain. But in Unity, I've learned about the 12 powers, and that one of our great powers is that power of will. And now I know that my will, as my divine self, is God's will, and God's will is my will. It's all the same, one and the same energy. There's a song we sung in the past that paraphrases some of the words recorded as Jesus' last words as he was dying on the cross. It goes, "Into thy hands I commit my spirit. Thy will is my will. Heal me at depth so that I may glorify God." And to me, glorifying God means expressing my true divine nature. That song reminds me to live from the highest perspective, to always come from my higher self. The upcoming class with Reverend Liz, Putting God at the Center, will be a chance to go deeper into that concept of recognizing and expressing our divine nature. So when I'm living from my divine nature, I ask for and follow divine guidance in all situations. I accept myself fully as a fully human and fully divine. I love myself so much, I don't have to be defensive and justify my actions so that I can appear powerful and in charge and really with it when maybe underneath the duck feet are really struggling to stay above water. So I loved what Reverend Liz said a couple of weeks ago after she related her story about being caught up in her story, saying how human I was. And I heard that phrase again when they were putting out the first reports about the crash at LaGuardia Airport. One of the commentators said, well, we have to remember we're all just human doing the best we can, and so let's not jump to conclusions on this. And that was a great reminder to always hold the highest and best, not jump to blaming and accusing others. The symbol of the lowly donkey shows us Jesus' surrender of earthly power. Riding the donkey, he proclaimed the rejection of earthly power. His kingdom, as he said many, many times, was not of this world. He appeared in his spiritual nature as the Messiah on that donkey. The people, even some of his closest friends, were still hoping for that earthly king to overcome all the things that the Romans were doing to the Israelites at the time. They were still looking for that earthly warrior to defeat the Romans. And we remember that Judas Iscariot, even one of his closest associates, was prepared to fight for the freedom of Israel and went so far as to betray Jesus. He hoped to force Jesus to accept that earthly kingly role and become a warrior. He was called, in one thing I read, a literal-minded fundamentalist. Metaphysically, this Palm Sunday experience calls us to release the need for power, control, or recognition, and to allow Spirit to move through us in simplicity and trust. Our true authority comes not from force or willful ego, but from that true alignment with our spirit, with our Christ nature, with our higher self. I let go of my preconceived ideas and notions about how things should be and how people should do things. And as we say in Unity, I don't should on people. I give up forcing my own way. I don't try to sell my own solution. I quietly pause, shift my awareness to my higher self, and respond as Spirit leads. So we don't have to wait until we make our earthly transition to become fully divine humans. Jesus showed us that we can express our full divine nature while here on earth. Many of our gurus and masters over the years have shown their divine nature while still on earth. And we're here to learn to live as divine humans. That's what I think our evolution in consciousness is all about, to be able to express our divinity right here on earth. We're here to transform our lives. And on the soul level, we have to remember that we did agree to be here at this time, this place, to add our special talents to the situation that's going on. And we have to also remember that we're just 1 millisecond in the whole of eternity with this whole plan that's working out. But we're here at this time and place agreeing to play our part. So all of these are essential movements during this, what we call Holy Week, and I hope our perspectives can give you things to contemplate as you prepare your own way during this week of contemplation, getting ready for that resurrection of the newness, resurrection into the new spirit. Palm Sunday is that beginning, as was mentioned, where we awaken our consciousness and begin our journey toward true freedom and liberation. So come on up, and we thank you for your time. We hope we've given you something to think about this week.
Please all stand. Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tied and binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We are one choice united, let it be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
We now place a blessing on our gifts and put ourselves into the law of circulation. If you're joining us online and you've been blessed by today's message, I invite you to go to our giving page on our website, and that is unityofcolumbia.org. Your gift will help keep these services online. As we support our spiritual family community, please take your offering, whether you give electronically, by check, or by cash. Hold it in your hand and your heart as we affirm these words. Together, divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
Thank you, Jen. Beautiful, thank you. Well, let's put ourselves in a place of endless abundance. We release all limiting ideas we might hold around our source of supply or money, and open to a new awareness, knowing that there is always abundance, and it's all about how we open ourselves to it. And so we say thank you for these gifts given freely and with love to do the work of Spirit through Unity of Columbia. And so it is, and we say together, Amen.
And as we welcome in the children this morning, we want to say hello to someone special who I think is a long ways away. Vicky, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Good morning. So Zeta and her sister Raina couldn't come in with us right now, but Zeta and Raina and I were talking about the Easter story and new beginnings and how things that don't look like they're alive are often coming to life, especially this time of year. And we planted some bulbs and we made some butterflies. You want to show them your butterflies? Zeta made really, really beautiful butterflies. Was there anything you wanted to say, Zeta? No. Okay. Let's bless our children, the ones that are here with us and the ones that aren't. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. Okay, let's sing.
Please rise and sing with us the prayer of protection.
God is here, the light of God surrounds us. God is here, the love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is.
As you move into your week, I invite you to show up in the world as you were wonderfully and beautifully made, in joy and in pure love. Wherever you are, God is.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be. With God as Creator, family whole are we, as we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.